I didn't think that I would ever be happy. I thought that if I didn't end my life prematurely, my disorder would. From that hurt place comes this anger, but I don't think it feels very good. I'm actually manic right now. I noticed my eyes were really wide, and I'm like, why are my eyes so wide in the video? And I'm like, oh, I think I'm manic, and I was definitely manic. So I thought that my manic episode was over, but it's currently almost 3 and I am up fervently writing poetry. I'm having a bit of an internal clash or struggle within myself right now. It's like I have two sides of me that, at least the way that they are existing now, aren't able to coexist very well, and I'm not really sure how to handle it. One of the sides I'm talking about is the side of me that is really angry and hurt at all the negative things that I've experienced and all the negative things that I've seen other people experience. The part of me that's really hurt by it and hurt by the fact that there's nothing really stopping those things from happening over and over again, and is angry and upset that there's nothing that I can really do to stop those things from happening again to me and to other people. And from that hurt place comes this anger, and that anger can sometimes push me to learn new things and to stand up for certain people and certain things. But I don't think it feels very good. And this is kind of a big part of me. It's something that I think about a lot, and that I read and watch and learn a lot of things associated with the things that hurt and anger me, I guess as a way to further understand them so they don't seem as scary or unbeatable, I guess, is maybe why I do it. But it's something that I spend a lot of time and thought on, and I don't know that it's necessarily a very good thing, but also, like, I can't just not be hurt. I can't reverse what was done, and I don't want to just not feel what it makes me feel. Like, to not feel hurt and angry about it seems like it would be suppressing it, which is not a good thing, and I have tried to do. Then I see what that hurt and anger makes other people do, and how it blinds people to the truths, it blinds people to other people's experience, and it makes people not want to listen and communicate and empathize with each other, because all of this pain that everyone is experiencing is coming at each other in the form of hate and anger, and people don't want to listen to hate and anger, and so then it just, they feel hurt by your hate and anger, so they hurt you more, and then it's just this never-ending pile and cycle of hatred based off of, you know, an initial hurt. And I see that, and at times I feel like I see myself exhibiting some of that behavior at times. Nothing crazy, but, you know, sometimes I can be short with people, or I can just not come at the conversation or the situation from a place of love and understanding and empathy. And I can see myself starting to do that sometimes, and I don't like that. And it's not doing anybody any good. Anyway, that's the one side of me, and the other side of me is this side of just like love and seeing the beauty in things and empathizing with people even if I don't agree with the conclusion that they've come to, and being able to find meaning and beauty in almost anything, and just wanting to share that love and wanting to bring that love out of other people, and to just always, with myself, with my own life, with other people, with everything I do, just the side of me that wants to come do everything from that place of love and acceptance and peace, and the side of me that just wants to focus on all of those good and beautiful parts of things. But there's so many things that are not good and not beautiful, and that hurt part of me still exists and still needs to be seen and heard. That anger and that energy still needs to be released I guess. So I guess what I need to do is find some way to release and accept that hurt part in a loving way. I'm not really sure how to do that right now. I have some ideas of things to try to release it and accept it through music and through art and things like that. And maybe that's all that I'll need. And then maybe I can get the two sides to meld and coexist and take care of the hurt through the love. But right now it just seems kind of hard to have the two exist at the same time. It seems like I'm either in a mindset where I'm hurt and I'm angry, or I'm in a mindset where I'm loving and open. So I guess that's something that I'm gonna need to work on, something that I'm gonna need to prioritize, because I don't really like the place that I'm in right now. And it sounds kind of like a simple thing to do, you know, when I put it in layman terms like that, but I'm gonna have to restructure the way that I think about everything, the way that I react to everything, the way that I see everything. And I'm gonna have to do it without suppressing the part of me that's hurt, without saying that there's anything wrong with that part, which is kind of a hard thing to do, because how do you remove seeing things from a hurt point of view without ignoring the hurt, you know? When it comes to just everyday things, I don't know.
From a friend of mine who saw you just the other day. Oh, I guess that you were back in town. It's been a long time since you've been around. Remember when we used to make the streets unsafe together, baby? We were young and foolish then. Oh, how I wish we could go back again. I get a one-way ticket down to memory lane. There are two hearts beating, just nothing will ever be the same. We had a chance, babe, to work it all out, but we blew it on our foolish pride. And now I wanna scream and shout, I love that I love you. Wanna shout, I love that I love you, baby. We had a chance, babe, to work it all out, but we blew it on our foolish pride. And now I wanna scream and shout, oh, shout out that I love you, baby. Oh.
I thought I'd just stop for a minute and sit down and talk, because I have something I feel like I need to say and something I feel like isn't talked about enough. So I'm going to do my part to end the stigma. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you might know that I am bipolar. I don't talk about it much, if I've even really talked about it at all, because I didn't choose to be this way, and I don't enjoy it most of the time, and I don't want to dwell on it. But I feel like I need to do my part in telling the truth and ending the stigma around bipolar and mental disorders in general. I'm actually manic right now. I've been manic quite a lot over the course of this winter, and I've also had depressive episodes. I've been manic during some of the parts where I've been recording. The most notable one for me, I actually noticed I was manic while editing because I noticed my eyes were really wide, and I'm like, why are my eyes so wide in the video? And I'm like, oh, I think I'm manic, and I was definitely manic. It was the video where on the thumbnail I have that black and red pajama onesie on. Yeah, during that scene I was actually manic, and I didn't know it at the time. But yeah, that one and this one right now are euphoric manias, so I feel really energetic and mostly positive and motivated and productive, but also a little harebrained. But I also will have dysphoric manias, And in the past, I've had mostly dysphoric manias where I have the same amount of energy, but it's a negative energy. And normally during my dysphoric manias, I have a lot of impulses of self-destruction, meaning I like to destroy my body in one way or another, normally just injuring myself. I know it's really weird and can be kind of upsetting to talk about, but luckily I don't have too many of those these days, and I have much more control over them when I do. But my euphoric manias can easily turn to dysphoric if I have a negative experience during them. So I do my best to avoid things that could trigger a dysphoric switch in my manias. But today it's a pretty pleasant one, and today my mania decided to obsess over dressing up. So I did my makeup for probably the first time in like a year or more. At least to this extent, I haven't done this much makeup in a year or more. And I think it turned out kind of cute, so thank you, Euphoric Mania, for doing my makeup today. But yeah, manias and depressions are a regular part of my life, and as I grow older, I get more used to experiencing them and more capable of managing them. And it doesn't have to be such a scary and strange thing. I have to be really careful with myself during these times. Like I said, not to trigger a dysphoric mania, but also I have a lot of energy and a very high pain tolerance, so I have to be careful not to injure myself because it can be very easy. But yeah, I don't want to talk too long about this, but I just thought I'd put my experience out there and let everyone know that it's okay to not be normal. And I believe in you. I believe that you can gain the amount of control that you need over yourself, and I believe that you can have a happy and successful life even if it means that you have to go around things in an abnormal way or live an abnormal life. And that's it for now. So I thought that my manic episode was over last night, but it's currently almost 3 a.m. and I am up fervently writing poetry because my brain is spilling it out so fast that my hands can't write fast enough to keep up with it. So that's how it's going over here right now. I need some sleep. But I guess sleep will have to wait because it is currently poetry time, apparently. I want to start hammering new things, new nails into the wall so that I can hang things up at different places. But it's 3 a.m. and I'm going to wake up my husband if I do that. So I'm going to refrain, but I'm just going to think about it. Actually, I probably won't think about it that long. I'll get distracted pretty quickly if I'm going to be honest. But until I get distracted, I'm going to think about it very obsessively. You hear that? It's windy as hell out there right now. Damn. Damn, Daniel. I'll change all the wall hanging stuff later. I can't be hammering this early. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna fit. So I'm getting kind of bored of this now, but the tree kind of doesn't fit in here, and I can't think of anywhere else where it would fit at all comfortably. So I might just have to take it down later. Also, I made a mess of the kitchen in this process, and the other Christmas trees still sitting on the floor by the back door. You know what? It's a work in progress. I will fix this tomorrow or something. This ladybug just jumped on me like I'm just a tool for him. You see this shit? Look at that. Bro's just chilling on my shirt. Get away from my face, bro. Nuh-uh. We ain't doing that. Nope. Ah! I thought he fell, and so I was looking for him on the ground and I felt something pelt my hand. So I freaked out and swatted at my hand and I felt like crush his, I don't know, his wounds or something, and then I don't like that. So I freaked out and then he flew up by my face. I don't know how he was still alive after I smacked him. Oh my god. I'm losing my shit. I gotta eat something. God damn. I think my mania is over now, and I think I'm sinking back into the depression, which maybe means that after this depression I'll be back to normal, hopefully, for a while, because I'm exhausted from this roller coaster. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of thinking and processing about the situation I was talking about and struggling with during my last depression before the mania, where I was having a hard time figuring out how to properly process my hurt and my pain and how to, I guess, heal my trauma. And I've been working a bit on that. That's gonna take kind of a long time. I have started on some of that, and I've really opened up this part of me that I think has been closed since I was maybe 16. It's this part of me that has this empathy and understanding for other people, and it's really crazy how much I've shifted my view on like everything over the course of just a week. And this view has been consistent through all the different phases of my mania, so I know that it's not just, a manic, a specific episode that's making me feel that way. And yeah, when I'm looking at people and even things that people have created or things that people have done, I'm looking at it from an entirely new perspective. And I'm looking at bad things especially from an entirely new perspective. Beforehand, when it came to bad things that I had some sort of trauma or negative experience with, when I would see, things that seemed like representations of that in my day-to-day life, things that triggered that, I would just feel this hate and this anger and this sense of injustice. And I would just wish that I could destroy whatever it was that was doing that to me. And I would feel so hurt, but I would cover up all of that hurt with anger and with hate. I guess that seemed to be easier at the time, and for whatever reason I thought that was more productive and more true, was to be angry. But now I've really challenged that, and I've thought of a new way to look at it that still feels truthful to me, and even feels more truthful than that. That was the hardest part for me, was figuring out how to do it while still being true to myself and honest to myself and doing justice to myself. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Yeah, now when I look at people, instead of feeling that hate and that anger in those situations, I am just seeing the hurt that it caused me, and I am comforting myself and I am validating myself for that hurt that I felt. Just like I would if it was like a best friend that I was, talking to and comforting. I'm doing that with myself, and I'm like physically hugging myself at times too. I'm really just removing the anger that's clouding and getting in the way of it, and getting to the hurt and taking care of myself. And then something that I didn't really expect and wasn't necessarily going for, at least at this point in time, is that now when I look at the things that are causing, those feelings towards me, I don't just see like bad and and evil and, you know, all of those really extreme labels on it. I see the hurt that caused that person to hurt. At least in the vast majority of cases, I do. Instead of thinking about that person and thinking, oh, they, you know, I wish that they could suffer the way that I suffered. I wish I could remove them. Instead, I think about the hurt that caused them to hurt. And not that that makes what they do any more acceptable or forgivable. And I still hold people accountable, and I still will remove people from my life. But yeah, I just see the hurt that caused them to hurt. And depending on the person, I either feel pity for them, or I just feel disappointment that that was the route they chose to go to deal with their pain, to cause other people pain. And I just see the weakness for what it is. And looking at it that way has really helped me heal the hurt in me, because when I look at something as someone else's sign of weakness, someone else's sign of having a lack of willpower, having a lack of empathy, lacking all of these things that I value, and that's the reason why they did these things to me. When I look at it that way, I don't feel all of that anger and rage built up anymore, because I understand why they did it. And in some cases, if they, you know, are trying to be better, truly are trying to be better, and they've apologized and they know, then I can just feel the pity, and I can still see that person in a decent light. I can still even have that person in my life. But if there's no reformation going on with them, I just see weakness. And I see, at the moment, a lost cause as far as I am concerned. And that makes it really easy for me to just walk away and say, I am stronger than that. Not only am I not going to push my pain onto other people, but I'm going to heal it from the inside out. And I'm not going to let it make my life or my existence worse. And I'm not going to disappoint myself and do something like that would destroy what I believe I am. And then that makes me feel like I'm strong for doing that and for accomplishing that, which just sets me that far apart from that person's weakness. And then it's like they're just so far beneath where I am that I, you know, unless I'm looking down at them, I'm not even gonna see that. And I'm not looking down all the time anymore, I'm looking up. Yeah, that's just kind of the realization I've had lately, and I'm very emotional about it at the moment because I'm in my depression, and yeah, depression makes things more emotional, who would have guessed? But yeah, overall, my last 2 depressions have actually been really productive because I've been letting the pain just sit there with me, and I've been listening to it, and I've been writing things down and taking notes on it, and I've been comforting myself in it. And so it almost doesn't even feel like what I remember depression being, you know, back in my teenage years, and even just like a year ago. It's almost unrecognizable to the kind of depression I would have back then, because it's just so loving and accepting and calm. And I'm just really grateful. And I'm just really grateful that I had the opportunity to move out here and to find out what works for me and to live what works for me, to learn these things about myself, and to have the time and the space and the safety to implement them and practice them and change my mind. And I'm grateful to my parents for raising me the way they did, with this open-mindedness where I can change my mind, and I can feel okay doing it, and I can have such a capacity to learn and implement new things and to be open-minded about the possibilities. Because I can tell you right now that back in my teenage years, especially my late teenage years, I didn't think I would be able to live very long. I didn't think that I would ever be happy. I thought that if I didn't end my life prematurely, my disorder would. I thought I would never be able to be creative again. I thought I would never be able to be in any way self-reliant. I couldn't even bear to think about what the future might look like. Now I'm here. I've I've bought a house. I've found a husband. I've moved away from everything I've known, and I've lived better because of it. I've learned so much about my mind, and I've used what I've learned to be a better person to myself and a better person to the world. Yeah, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but this winter has just been really crazy for me, and I just can't believe how much I've learned about myself and how much progress I've made within myself. And yeah, I hope that every single one of you out there can get this kind of opportunity to find yourself and love yourself and heal yourself and learn about yourself and be the best version of yourself that you can be for yourself and for everybody else. And I think I will leave this video on that note. Take care of yourselves out there, and I'll see you next time.